Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a slight twist on what I call California sober. So several years ago, I did a video about California sober, and it was based on an article I'd read where somebody who's in the Hollywood jet set world said that it was okay to be California sober, meaning that it's okay to use just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. And she was somebody who had a long history of abusing and using marijuana, and said, well, I'm not using that much. I'm only using a little bit. I'm just California sober. And my response to her in the video was, it's completely only ridiculous, first of all. Somebody who has a substance use disorder, if they're going to go in recovery, they can never, ever, ever use again. Period. End of story. There is no room for negotiation. Okay. There's no room to be California sober. I mean, so I really, I took a stand on that. Now, just a couple of days ago, we got a call from a wife. Her husband, early 50s, has been drinking for a long, long time. Probably since he was in college. The last 5 years, it's daily, almost at this point, hourly use of alcohol to be able to function. Driving drunk. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. He's been arrested for DUI. Just insanity. They've been living in this crazy world for a long time. And she said to me that he had done one stint in treatment, had done 90 days. And I said, well, look, I'll be honest with you. In our world, in the environment that we work in, it's simply not enough, right? It's not long enough. And I said, is he drinking? And her response was yes, but not nearly as much as he was. And I said, are you okay with that? And she said, I think I am. And I said, okay, is he still drinking every day? Well, he is, but not as much. And I said, look, he's got a disease. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, because that's the way I am. He can never, ever, 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 ever drink again. Not even a little bit. Zero. He has a disease, and he has to be abstinent. There's no California sober. It just can't be the way it is. I mean, if you want him to experience that miracle of recovery, if you want to experience the miracle of recovery, if you want your children to experience the miracle of recovery, if you want the rest of the family to experience the miracle of recovery, he can never, ever drink again. Period. End of story. And I know that, asking a family to make the commitment of time, energy, and money to put their loved one into treatment and keep them there long enough in a clinically appropriate facility is a big ask. Okay, but a couple things. Number one, if you want your loved one to finally recover, somebody has to make the decision to save them. Their brain has been kidnapped, and it was kidnapped a long, long time ago. You just weren't aware of it. Okay, so expecting them to make the decision to save themselves, it's just not realistic. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's not. They just don't have the capacity to save themselves. If they could, they would. So the question is, are you going to make that decision? Is somebody else in the family going to make that decision? Is a friend going to make that decision? But somebody has to make the decision to save them and get them into treatment, keep them there long enough in a clinically appropriate facility, and make sure that they develop the skill set that they're going to need to maintain lifelong recovery. But there's no wiggle room here. They're either in recovery or they're not. They're either drinking or they're not. There's no in between here. There's no drinking a little bit. There's no California sober. We have to get them in recovery and keep them there and make sure they don't drink or use whatever their drug of choice is ever again. Otherwise, this is simply an exercise in futility. And this is going to continue and continue and continue and continue until something tragic happens. That's it. That's how this works. And so if you are a family and you have a loved one that has been in crisis for a long, long time, and you want to talk about what options are available to them and to you, and how you can finally end this nightmare, that's a conversation we want to have with you. Okay? I hope you're okay with me being honest with you, because there's just no bullshitting you with this stuff. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you the truth. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, the thumbs up would be appreciated. If you could subscribe to the channel so you get more content, I'd be grateful for that too. And I appreciate you tuning into the video, listening to me, and thinking about how you can save your loved one. I know it's a big step, and I'm grateful. Thank you. Bye-bye.